loading up for the gig. The gig is out of town. It's in a kind of out in the country at a Lakeside bar. It's gonna be interesting. I haven't done sound there. I'm sure the setup will be fine. I've talked to some people who have done sound there and got the gist of it, so hopefully I have everything. If not, we'll make it work. That's part of our jobs. We just figure out the problems and we solve them. I recently moved all my sound gear into my garage. Originally I had it in my basement, which is really close, but I still had to cross through a couple doorways, and this saves a lot of time. And you can see that the trailer right here, it also saves time where I can just turn and load up right from here. Here's a quick tip if you use the sub covers on your Qsc 118s. These covers only go on one way, otherwise the holes do not line up for the handles. So what I did was I put a sticker that comes in the package. I stuck that on the inside of the handle and I made it match the side that has the logo on the bag. And now whoever's doing it, I can tell them to line up the two logos and it'll be perfect. I'm trying to get faster load in and load out times, and I'm gonna load the speaker on top of the sub this time. And it's a bit of a pain to get over that first bump, but this does save me time. What I really need to do now is actually buy some ratchet straps so I can keep the CDL secure when I'm moving it up those ramps. Time to roll out. This gig is out of town, so I'm gonna hit the interstate. If you've never been to Nebraska, this is what it looks like. It's flat, and it kinda, if you have a long trip, can be a little boring because there's just not a lot to see besides grass and fields. Well, we hit our first snag in the trip. The turn it wanted me to take is all ripped out. It looked like it was damaged from the storm, and they're ripping it all out. So it made me go completely past my turn. Now I'm backtracking. Hopefully we can get there in time. I guess that's a good reason, or as any, to make sure you always give yourself plenty of leeway time before the gig so you can set up in case you run into something like this. Am I lost? Google, I don't know what you're doing. We'll find out.
Continue on Lawn Road for 3/4 of a mile.
Oh yeah, we got corn. Hopefully there's no children in there. I have talked to the staff and I've parked terribly. I have to try to back this out without hitting these cars. I need to pull up over here and I'm gonna unload and walk down some stairs, I think. Should be interesting. This is a really nice looking area right off the lake, and it should be a really fun location to do a gig. Looks like I have stairs on both sides. I'll see what they want me to do. I would roll down over on this dirt, but it's actually sand, and that is no good for your wheels. So yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. All right, here's my hat. My wife hates this hat. It's not the greatest looking hat. It doesn't make me look handsome or anything, but you can see it shades me all the way around, and I'd rather look slightly ridiculous and look like I'm on vacation and be cooking out here in the sun. It looks like we are setting up right here. Let me switch this camera around. We're supposed to be setting up here. He told me we're setting up here, and I assumed we'd be going straight out this way. But according to the staff, they usually set it up kind of at an angle here so they can hit all that area up there. I brought 2 subs and 4 CDL tops, which is way too much when you consider this cement wall here is just going to reflect all that bass and all that highs. It could be a challenge tonight with microphones, but I'll just get it all started. And then they're supposed to be putting up this canopy, and that's gonna be their stage, so I'll know more when that's all set up. This is the setup that we're gonna be using tonight. 1 Qsc KS118 sub, and then 1 Presonus CDL top per side. After sound check, I ended up putting up a second CDL. While these speakers sound great, they clip if you just look at them funny. And the clip on these speakers is weird because it's not an audible clip. What'll happen is the speaker will just stop working altogether for a few seconds and then come back on. Here's a quick look at their pedal boards. They use an interesting pedal called a panic button, which allows you to A/B this one microphone, and when they hit the button, only they can hear each other talk, so they can shout out cues or what song's up next, or if they have some sort of funny story. Pretty cool idea. I might actually steal this for myself. And there's no monitors. This band is all on Iners, which makes my life easier. As I do sound, I like to move around in the area to make sure that while you can't get the perfect sound in every location, I want everybody to still have a great experience, and you can hear how great it still sounds up here. Forgot to mention my Redneck Engineering. I borrowed some drum mics, and this kick one used a smaller holder than what I had, so I just used the Velcro wrap that I happen to have, and it worked out great. Didn't really have any big issues. I did start off with one CDL on the top, and then just the one sub. And after I got it going and the band was playing, I realized that wasn't quite enough, and they just did the one song. So then when they took a break, I went ahead and threw another CDL on top, and that really, it made it so I didn't have to push it as hard. And the one CDL I was clipping for sure, but then when I had the two, it wasn't clipping anymore, so that made a lot of sense. I think next time I will definitely run 2 subs. Then I also don't have to run them as hard. It's more work to set up, but it's less that I have to push my equipment, and it fills the space a little bit better. The only downside to tonight was, besides running into that construction, was we started off and it was a really nice night, like 75 or 77 degrees, and now it's real cold. I probably have snot running out of my nose, but it ended up being a great night and a good show. It's a really cool looking venue. I think one of the most interesting parts about the gigs is how quiet it is after. You have this loud show going the whole time, and then it's just dead quiet. At the end of this gig, everybody left, even the staff. It was a little dark, it was a little cold. Honestly, it felt a little lonely, but it's kind of cathartic in a way. It lets you wind down at the end of the night and collect your thoughts, and honestly, it was kind of beautiful to see the lake at night. Alright, let's close this thing up and head home. Thanks for joining me on this video, and we'll see you at the next gig.